Smackdown reaction show, but on Saturday. Yes. Hello to regular subscribers. How you doing? Thanks everyone for tuning in last night for the very, very awesome Liverpool live stream. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Thanks to everyone that came on, actually. By the way, that was like one of the best numbers that I've had for a long, long time. It was really cool, actually. So I might consider sharing my Fridays with you guys from now on, potentially. Although I do just like chilling on Fridays on my own with no other human beings, but I can chat to you guys for a little bit, I guess. No, it was really cool though, thank you. Just before I start, obviously this will be on YouTube podcast and YouTube video. Also, can I just say, apologies, I think I may have dropped one of my technologically, if that's even a word, based clangers earlier, because I went to change the thumbnail on this video, and basically beforehand it was my usual thing of Smackdown live review, but I've changed it to something like Cody Rhodes' Homelander or something like that, I forget. And just as I was changing the thumbnail, I had a look and I was like, that's meant to say an 11 o'clock start. Why does it say 8 o'clock for? And I was like, oh, shit. Basically, long story short, folks, I put the genuine mistake. I put the wrong time on the live stream. So, yes, again, completely my error. Do apologise. Yeah, basically the live stream is now, obviously. So there we go. Hey Finn, how you doing, mate? You all right? Having a good Saturday night, pal? So yeah, sorry about that, folks. But yeah, basically, long story short, I put the wrong time in, so I apologise if you tuned in at 8 instead of 11. That was completely my fault. Blah 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 blah. There we go. In terms of me, yeah, it's been quite chill today. I've spent most of the day indoors with my lad, just doing, well, I say gaming, but like, he was doing his Minecraft stuff. I was writing some articles on Substack, watching a bit of football coverage. I watched the Wrexham versus Chelsea match. I really enjoyed that, by the way. It was one of the best matches I've seen this season. Um, how do I put this? Because I don't want to annoy Chelsea fans deliberately. I'm not sure about the refereeing. Trying to be polite here. The refereeing of that match was concerning, to say the least. But yes, moving swiftly on. And yeah, it's been a lot better. It's like I said, thanks everyone for sticking with me this week. It's been a bit of a shit of a week, if I've been completely honest, but at least it's ending well now. I can have a bit of a chill out. The Reds won yesterday, so we're all good, we're all happy. Watched a bit of wrestling. Smackdown was okay. I'm going to get onto that in a minute, and yeah, I've got a beer, so all good. Definitely not water after this week. I'll get back onto water next week, guys. Let's have a look. I got a pair of Nike football boots from a charity shop today. Guess the price. Funnily enough, Finn, that's my missus's employment. She's actually like a charity shop manager dude person. I'm gonna say £12.50. I'm good. How are you? Don't get. Oh no, Finn. No, it's like one beer. I'm sure I'll be absolutely fine. The only reason I've got beer, funnily enough, shout out to my brother. He came over earlier in his car because we were discussing the Liverpool Legends match. By the way, cheap plug. That will be on this channel in 2.5 weeks. By the way. So yeah, just keep an eye for it. Is it 2.5 weeks? No, it's 3 weeks today. Actually, I'll be in Liverpool. I'll just be completely honest. I will probably be a little bit drunk that night. But yes, that'll be cool. It'll be cool. But my brother came over, and for some inexplicable reason, he's got this bag, and all of a sudden he's like, "Right, I've got this for you." And he gets one beer out, and then a second beer out, and a third beer out, and eventually that my table was full. I was like, "Where did you get all this beer from?" Apparently he won it at some random promotion or something like that, and said, "Oh, I just thought I'd bring it over here because I know you like beer." And I'm just like, "Oh, if it's free beer, then fine, fair enough." So that was a bit of a result today as well. But yes, Finn, I will not be making a habit of this. Like I said, it's just it's been a bit of a week, Finn, to be completely honest. I'm just having a bit of a chill out tonight, and normal service will be resumed next week. Let's have a look. £3.50 for Nikes. Bloody hell, man. Is it Finn, are they like oh, what's the Nike mate now? Is it Nike 90 or something? Because I went in Sports Direct the other day and there was, I don't know if it was Nike, but there's this football boot at the minute, because I'm old, I've got no idea about football boots anymore. But there was this footy boot that all the kids were going over, and there's like a circle and it said 90 in it or something like that. I don't know if that's the same thing, like, but yeah, that's well good, mate. That's well good. That's absolute bargain. That, do you know what? I absolutely love comic books. I absolutely love charity shops. I've been going to charity shops, if you can believe it, mate, for nearly 40 years. And yeah, I love them. Anyone that tells you, ooh, charity shop's disgusting, blah, 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 don't listen to them. Like, especially kids who will end up listening to this at some point. Um, you can buy your clothes cheap from charity shops. It's good for the environment. Plus, all that expensive gear that your mates are getting, they then end up at the end of the month with bugger all money. Whereas you've saved like £100, and then you're sitting pretty for the rest of the month. So that's all I'd say. Yeah, no, I absolutely love charity shops. They're bloody brilliant. My old fellow used to take me on Saturday afternoons. I used to live in Eastbourne, so down south, obviously about an hour and a half away from London. And we'd go to the tip, which I know is not a thing now because you've got to pay like vehicle charges and all that business. But me and my old fellow used to go to the tip, and he'd literally be in his business suit because he used to work on a Saturdays, and he'd just waltz along, and he'd just have me with a little bag, and we're literally combing through all this crap basically on the tin, bringing stuff home, washing it off, and taking it back. It was like very, very early eBay, before eBay was even thought of being eBay. And my mum used to go absolutely mental with me old fella. She was like, "Why are you bringing all this crap into our nice house for me?" Because my dad was obviously very working class. He was gardener. It was just like, "Oh, we might be able to sell it. It will be a good investment long term." Sorry, that's my really bad Ghanaian accent. Apologies to all the Ghanaians out there, but I can't do my dad's accent basically. But yeah, no, I absolutely love charity shops. Finn, absolutely bloody awesome. What was what show am I doing? Yes, Smackdown. That's why I've got the notes here. Right, guys. Like I said, if people are chilling out tonight and doing stuff on Saturday, it's perfectly acceptable. You can watch this the next day and put any comments that you want to, and yeah, we will talk about Smackdown. So, uh, first segment was Randy Orton. I mean, obviously, you guys will have seen most of this, so I'm just repeating what happened. But Randy Orton came out. Obviously, he's the number one contender for either Drew or Cody. Obviously, now we know who he's going to be facing, so it kind of makes a lot more sense now. I did predict it was going to be Randy versus Cody, not to pat myself on the back too much, but I mean, it had been fairly obvious to me since about January that that's the way they were going. I'll get into the Drew McIntyre of it all in a minute. But there was a lot of booing in that crowd. And WWE usually are pretty good with putting on like the sound muffler things so you can like avoid booing and stuff. But it was pretty obvious that a lot of the crowd were not happy. I'm not delighted for Drew. I don't think it's asking too much for that man to main event WrestleMania once. Obviously, I know Drew McIntyre is not going to main event every WrestleMania. That's going to be your Codys, your Romans, but I think it's obviously Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes is the bigger match, and I get that, and that's fine. WWE have got to worry about the bottom line at the end of the day, which is their finances and what's going to make more money. Randy Orton or Cody, or Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton, and obviously it's going to be Cody versus Randy. And I do understand that, but I feel so shit for Drew because that bloke has worked his arse off literally most of the last decade to get to where he is, and I'm just very gutted that. I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be him versus Jacob Fatu. Who knows, but I'll get onto that in a minute. Basically, Randy Orton came out, cut a decent promo, nothing to write home about. Then Trick Williams came out and said he had a problem with Randy Orton. And before he could even say what the problem was, basically he got RKO'd out of his lemon pepper steppers. And Yeah, we were off to the races basically. So it was a decent start. By the way, I really hope Trick Williams, same sort of thing as Drew. I hope they're going to put him in some sort of worthwhile thing at Mania. I know he's only just been called up, and it's the same sort of thing as Obafemi, but I would like to see Trick Williams and Obafemi being given some sort of worthwhile, meaningful thing to do, ideally. But obviously, we'll have to wait and see. But there we go. Wow. Yeah, there you go. Charming gentleman. Let's have a look. I got a blue wolf shirt for £6 from a charity shop. Oh, nice one, Finn, last week. And before you get worried, Dad, the only reason I got it was because Wolves is my second club. I was born in Wolverhampton. I bet you've had an awkward week then, Finn, haven't you, this last week? But your emotions have just been like, well, what are we doing here? Yeah, no, I'm quite pleased we're not playing Wolves again this year because I'm in the same boat as you, mate. A lot of my, well, not loads, but there's a couple of members of my family, mother, who are Wolves fans, or at least old school Wolves fans, because we've got family down there, as you know, because we're sort of Telford way. And there's obviously, as you know, Finn, like Telford wise, there's a lot of Wolves fans because I mean, it's only literally around the corner, isn't it? And yeah, when we lost to them in midweek, that was kind of awkward. There's like a black country lad who's a good friend of mine at work actually, and he gave me some stick the next day. But the glorious thing about that was he was a Man United fan, and then they lost to Newcastle, who had 10 men for like, I don't know, half an hour or something. From about half an hour in, and I came and I was like, yeah, well, at least we didn't lose to 10 men. So yeah, it worked out in the end. Like I said, if you haven't seen the live stream, folks, there are some crossovers amongst you guys because obviously I cover football and wrestling. If you haven't seen the live stream from yesterday, it was probably one of the best ones I've ever done. I was really pleased with that. We just talked about everything. I think I was ended up on there for about 2 hours or something like that. And yeah, it was really good. Really enjoyed it. Proper good time. I ended up getting, it was really weird as well. I don't think, looking at the count, this is going to happen this evening, but I think I ended up getting something like 10 subscribers in like an hour or something, which it isn't in itself very impressive compared to other people who are trying to do what I do. But like for me, that's really good. I was just like, why have I got 10 extra subscribers? Oh, I'm on 1.5 now. So yeah, it was a very good night. Properly enjoyed it. But yeah, if you want to catch that, obviously it's on the Geek Boy Does Liverpool playlist, and it'll be on there somewhere. So just check it out if you want to. When it comes to Liverpool versus Wolves, I'm always supporting Liverpool, but Wolves versus anyone else, I'm on Wolves' side. Liverpool always number one. Big up the Reds. Absolutely, Finn. Absolutely, yeah. Red till I die, mate. Red till I die. That's embarrassing. Excuse me. This is why I don't drink often. Yes, so the next bit on Smackdown, I was going to talk about this because it's getting a bit weird this now. So obviously, WWE's got that. What am I trying to say? WWE's got that promotion with AAA that they announced. Was it the last WrestleMania or SummerSlam? It was last year, wasn't it? I think I want to say it was before WrestleMania. It's been for a while now. Anyway, long story short, um, they're having AAA wrestlers cross over now because obviously it's a huge opportunity for them to get like promotion in Mexico and like Latin America and all that. So obviously you've had Vikingo, you've had Mr. Iguana. Wow, what a bloke! What a bloke! I absolutely love Mr. Iguana. He needs to meet Danhausen, by the way, which I'm going to come on to him in a minute. But I've not seen Dr. Wagner Jr. I don't know enough about him to come on. I have heard of him just mid conversation, as Black Widow once said. I do know roughly who he is, but I must confess I've never seen him wrestle before. To be fair, he was really good actually against Mello. But the one problem I'm finding at the moment is when they're bringing these wrestlers in, just before they come out, you're getting like a 30-second hype package, and then people are like, haha, here's Dr. Wagner, and the crowd. And it's not me having a go at the crowd. The crowd will just like, to quote my son, who dat? I can't do it as cool as my son. He's just like, who dat? But yeah. Yeah, and it's kind of a bit weird because it's like, if you do a Smackdown like the week before, just literally do a pre-tape and give people like a week to find out. Like Dr. Wagner will be joining us next week. He will be here in some capacity. Blah 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 blah. And then at least people can go, oh, that guy looks cool. I wonder who he is. And then they go on social media and so on and so forth and yada 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 blah 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 blah, etc etc. And they don't do that. They just like basically throw the guys out, and I just don't think that's very effective. I think the crowd were really into it. It was quite a decent match in the end, but it's just my notes for WWE. Basically, tell people about it and tell people about the Mexican wrestlers and the AAA wrestlers beforehand, and then people can look into what they've done in the past. Don't just throw them out there because it really ain't helping them. It's just a small note, basically. Also, as well, before I get back into the comments, what the hell is going on with Dragunov? It's getting really, really odd this now. It's like, no, for honor, and my mother. Sorry, I'm trying to do Dragunov's voice, which I'm not doing very well. And it's like, my mother worked very, very hard, blah, 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 and I'm not worthy of it. It's just like, dude, just wrestle Bella and get your time. He's got to be turning heel, surely, because there's got to be a point to this story. And I don't really. It's just making. I like Killer Dragunov, and it's just making him look bloody stupid. Now, there are one or two of these angles on SmackDown that I don't. They're just really, really odd. Like there was the Champ thing, there was the Axiom thing. They're making the Motor City Machine Guns look like a bunch of jobbers. You've got the Apollo Crews and Matt Cardona hanging backstage. I don't know. It's super weird, to be honest. I don't get what they're trying to do with a lot of the mid carders. But anyway, let me read the comments. Let's have a look. Finn. Oh, congratulations, Finn. Well done to you, mate. You keep going, lad. Well, to be honest, Finn, if you've already got that, I mean, you should be at the stage where, because obviously I've started looking now at these sort of things, because obviously I'm getting nearer to thing. You should be near paid partnerships, mate. You must be getting close to that with that sort of number, especially with your hours, that you will be getting in from having that many subscribers. So yeah, you keep going, mate. Because if you can start off doing that as a job at your age as well, so the sky's the limit for you, mate. So yeah, you just keep going, mate. That's really, really, really good. Congratulations. I will. I'll keep trying to catch you up, but like I said, you're a bit more technologically advanced than I am. By the way, can I just shout out, I'm sure you might amuse my name, check out Jack Styles as well. He does really, really cool wrestling content on like, I'm probably doing Jack a disservice here, but like he does video game stuff and he has a whole wrestling league and it's really, really super awesome and cool. I can't say it in more than that because I'm an old man and I don't know what he did try to explain to me last night what it is that he does, but like I'm like, huh? With my walking stick and my grey beard. So yeah, but check him out. He's really, really cool. Would fully recommend the channel. I will try and do something of like linking one of his videos like the children do. I will figure it out, but yeah, check his channel out. It's proper boss. Let's have a look. Finn, I love Danhausen. Oh, well, I'm going to get onto that. Finn, do you know what? I think he's brilliant. I think he's rebounded from that fiasco in Chicago really well. I like the Dom Mysterio thing, but the SmackDown one where he cursed the Miz, I thought that whole thing was brilliant. I don't know, there's just something about him, like he's got like this magnetic personality, and you just, I don't know if it's just me, you just kind of drawn to the bloke. And do you know what? He's just really, really funny. It's just his delivery, his cadence and stuff. And I love the way that they film it, where he disappears. Because it's not like you can see him running off into the distance. The way they do it, it's literally like, and you're like, huh? I don't know how they do that. I mean, I'm assuming he's jumping back because you never hear a sound. Maybe he's on like a really silent pulley or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, no, I like Danhausen. Like I said, I liked him in AEW anyway. So, yeah, big up Danhausen. Like I said, those people that would get direct messaging him, calling him a knob and all sorts. Get over yourselves, will you, and get a life. Let's have a look. Randy will beat Cody. I don't know, Johnny. I honestly, mate, I've been trying to think about it, John. Um, I don't know, mate. I think Cody. See, if my theory is right and we're getting Homelander Cody, and as a fellow boys fan, you will know what I mean by that reference. If we're getting a Homelander Cody, it would have worked better if Cody wasn't the champion and if Randy went in as champ, because then they could do some like horrendous thing where Cody destroys his old master and hits him with a chair and all that business, and stands over him and turns heel. Maybe, I don't know. Or I mean, there's other ways they can turn him heel, obviously, but I mean, look, I might be wrong. Maybe Cody Rhodes doesn't turn heel, but I've said all along there is no way, and you can quote me on this next month, and I'll probably look like a complete idiot, but I'll stand behind it. There is no way that going into the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, that Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk are all Horseman. There you go. There's no way those four lads are all going to be baby faces, because, like, at the top, bearing in mind now you've got people like Ober and you've got Trick Williams, who are going to start building up. One would assume eventually Joe Hendry is going to be a big player on there. There's going to be a lot of people fighting for real estate, and I just from a numbers point of view, if anything else, I just don't see all of them coming out of Mania as baby faces. It's probably a random thing that's not going to happen, but yeah. Yeah, so to be honest, John, I'll stick with my prediction, but you are probably right, mate. I'm going to stick with Cody Rhodes turns heel over Randy Orton and retains at WrestleMania, I think is what I'm going to go for. Which, incidentally, I'm going to talk about this. I think they've basically I think, even if it's by accident, I think they've just turned Drew McIntyre into into a babyface, because that crowd look pissed off. And there's the whole Nick Aldis of it all, because if you look at it, you'd be pissed off if you were the GM, obviously, it goes without saying, but at the same time, I thought at the time when Aldis went mental on the post show after Elimination Chamber, like, obviously you would go mental if someone did that to you, but like, at the same time, he's meant to be a general manager, and it's not really how. Obviously, I know it's not quote unquote real life, but you kind of like, I don't know. I mean, if someone did that in my place of work, they'd probably be fired for having a go at the staff. I mean, I don't know, because there's no equivalent, obviously, but like, Aldis has technically, well, not technically, he's gone back on his word. He said that Cody Rhodes will never challenge him again, and his excuse was, "Well, you broke your word, so I'm going to break mine." It's like, whoa, 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 yeah, but that's great, but Drew's a wrestler. Wrestlers turn heel and break their words all the time. Like, you're meant to be in storyline, guys, a babyface GM. I'm just wondering if there's going to be something with Aldis and Drew McIntyre, because like, I don't know, I've been driving myself mad trying to work this out, because there's so many combinations, but then you're like, well, obviously Jacob Fatu and Drew are going to have to get into it, maybe. I don't know, maybe that's the end of that. Maybe they have Drew off TV for a while. Maybe Drew interferes and costs Cody at WrestleMania and they bring him back for WrestleMania. I don't know. But in terms of, I hope they've got something for Drew now he's lost the title, because I am genuinely gutted for the bloke. I think he deserves to main event. Look, he was never going to be the main event. Obviously, Punk and Roman is the main event, and that's fine. But you like how they have like triple main events or whatever. I just would have liked Drew McIntyre once just to have won the title or retained at WrestleMania. I mean, Drew's only young wrestling wise. I think he's only just turned into his 40s. he's going to be around for a long, long time. He's going to be around for at least another 10 years, you would have thought, probably more than that. So there are chances for him to main event WrestleMania, but I mean, is he going to get a better chance circumstance-wise than what he's just had, being so close to Mania? I don't know. I don't know, but I do feel a bit sorry for Drew McIntyre, but there we go. Let's go. Holy shit, best WWE champ. Yes. Apart from that time when R-Truth was in London, and I don't know if you guys remember this. It was during that period when I wasn't watching wrestling because, and again, if this was your era, I apologise, but obviously I'm an Attitude Era boy, and it was around the time when I think there was a pay per view called Capital Punishment, and it was R-Truth versus John Cena. And don't get me wrong, I like Truth, but Truth wasn't as over then as he is now, kind of thing. And the card was, it was dreadful. I mean, at that point in time, WWE, and I want to say this is 2000 and was it 15 or 16 or something along the lines. I don't know. Maybe it was a bit earlier than that, but I was just like, wow, this is garbage. Like, what are we doing here? This is the worst card that I have ever seen in my entire life. It's absolutely bloody awful. So it was in and around that time when I wasn't watching wrestling. But at this London show, R-Truth all of a sudden, bear in mind we've had a smoking ban in this country since what is it, 2007? All of a sudden he pulls out bloody I was going to say joint then. God, that would have got into trouble, wouldn't it? He pulled out a cigarette, excuse me, and he's blatantly started smoking. And this is on American TV, and I don't think they had the smoke. I don't think America's got a smoking ban up there. And he's happily just smoking away. And all the English fans started chanting, "That's illegal. That's illegal." And I'm sat there, and this is live as well, and I'm like, "What is going on? This is absolutely mental, you know." But yeah, that chant was awesome. It was proper cool, dude. Definitely. Funny. My name is Paul Heyman. The best promo in the history of the business from a management point of view, Mr. Johnny. Second only, in my opinion, to Rowdy Roddy Piper. He's my promo guy. Obviously, modern day, you've got CM Punk, Dusty Rhodes, if you will. That's my really bad Dusty Rhodes impression. Obviously, Ric Flair. Not the stupid stuff he does now, but back in the day, Flair could cut an awesome promo. Bray Wyatt was absolutely stunning. I actually really like Becky Lynch's promos because she just comes across as an absolute nutbag, basically. But yeah, I think Becky's really good on the mic. But Paul Heyman is just sensational. To be honest, Johnny, I'm glad you mentioned that because I talked on the stream. I think it was the other night, possibly it might have been last night. And Heyman, his selling of that curb stomp was incredible. Absolutely incredible. I wrote about it on my Substack as well. Cheap plug, Geek Boy Meta on Substack if you want to read. Articles are in my descriptions and posts. Yay. Yeah, anyway. But honestly, the way that they crafted that, the chair shot reaction was great because I look at stuff like this that maybe some people don't look at, but his selling of the chair shot, the curb stomp. What I really liked about the curb stomp is he had I know it's a very small detail, but usually they've got blood all over the place and this, that, and the other, and like scars. Heyman had the blood just here because that's where Rawlins made the impact with his head, and his head would have gone like that. It's just small details like that, and it's just Paul Heyman. Honestly, is one of the main reasons I still watch pro wrestling. He is the business, and he is just incredible. And for me, I know Paul Heyman isn't a wrestler, but if you've got a Mount Rushmore of non-wrestling personalities who aren't wrestlers but who still bump, and he'll still take chair shots and fall off the ring and get physical and this, that, and the other. I mean, Heyman took that ridiculous thing. What was it last year from Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline when they put him through the table? This was when it was Solo Sikoa, his bloodline that he hadn't claimed yet, when the storyline was kind of called before we got presented with the absolute bag of shit that is the MFTs. Excuse my language. Try not to swear. I do not like the MFTs. I think they are absolutely bloody awful. Anyway, and the way he took that table spot was just insane. Like I said, I love him, Johnny. I think he's absolutely superb. So shout out to Paul Heyman. In fact, swig a beer for Paul Heyman. I'm just looking while I'm on with you guys. I'm watching just something on YouTube in the background. And one of my you know, they've got the recommendations, like if you like this, you might like this, and so on and so forth. One of my recommendations next to Liverpool and next to Paloma Faith and Zach Polanski, which I was watching, is Pinocchio Unstrung. Why does Pinocchio look like Groot? I don't know if anyone else has seen this. It's this. I'm assuming it's from that Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, Pooniverse thing, whatever they're doing. Which actually, randomly, because I like my schlocky horror, I'm gonna have to start watching that because it does look god awful, but it looks like good god awful, like a kind of an Evil Dead kind of thing. I don't know, like a comedy horror, so I might give it a watch. But seriously, if you can have a look on your phones or your laptops, there is a picture of this Pinocchio, and he looks like Groot with buzz cut hair. Anyway, right. Yes. Anyway, Brock versus Undertaker confirmed by me. Nope, it's not happening, Johnny, mate. I know you like Taker and Brock, mate, but it is not happening, son. No chance. The last chance the dead man has before we force him to do dead man spit. Dead man spit. Yes, I remember that. Hey, Sarah, how you doing? You're all right. Sorry, Sarah, that I've only just said hello. I'm literally just going through the comments. Guys, I know I have this enormous habit of waffling on when someone's just asked me a simple question. So if I've not got to you, it's not me being rude. It's just I have a tendency to waffle and crack and go on, basically. So yes, let's have a look. Benjamin Burgess, Jesus loves you. Oh, thank you, Benjamin, for that. I mean, I'm not religious at all, my friend, but like I said, shout out to all the religious people on the stream. I hope you find comfort in it. Oh, do I tell the dad story? Because I don't want to be right. The reason I'm not personally religious, and like I said, I have no problem with any religion whatsoever. You do you, as long as no one's hurting anyone. Same thing I say about football, wrestling, whatever you do. As long as no one's being hurt, you enjoy being religious, and I hope it brings you good feelings or whatever the terminology would be. I asked for. Oh God, because I'm going to come across as an arsehole, but I'll just say, when my dad was dying, and I've never asked this before, I've not asked it since, I asked the person mentioned in a certain book to save my dad, and my dad was basically died. And it's not that I have a grudge or I go around saying, "Oh, I hate religious people because my dad died." Because I'm not going to say that to people. I'm not a complete arsehole at the end of the day. However, I don't know if that's coming across well, and like I said, I don't want to offend anyone. Like I said, but I asked for one thing, which was like the biggest thing that I will ever ask for in my life, and the thing didn't happen. And my wife and my son are both religious. They've tried to explain it to me. My ex was religious. Loads of people I know are religious. We've all had this discussion. I've always been very respectful of their opinions, and I've never shouted at any of them. But I'm kind of like, well, this is the most important thing. This is the only thing I'd never asked for. Money, fame. I might have said, please God, let Liverpool win this penalty shootout a couple of times, but like, no, not really. But I've never asked for a thing, and the thing that I needed most at that time that would have maybe made my life a lot better wasn't done, and I don't know whether I can reconcile with a thing being there that would allow something like that to happen to a 16-year-old lad who couldn't save his brother. I hope I haven't offended anyone with that. And it's just like I said, if a lot of you are religious, absolutely fantastic, not a problem. But because of that reason, basically, that's quite a personal thing for me. It's just not for me, sadly. But like I said, shout out to all religious people. God bless you. Let me have a look. That was a bit deep, wasn't it? Anyway, let's get back to wrestling. I'm not really talking about my dead father on bloody Saturday night. Crikey. Let's have a look. Hey Jennifer, how you doing? You all right? Welcome to the channel. Johnny, me versus you for the Geek Boy Championship. I'll hit you with a Devon. Get the tables. Devon, get the tables. Oh no, Johnny, no, we've got to have a scientific classic, mate. I'll be. Tell you what, you can be Ric Flair and I'll be Shawn Michaels. In fact, you're like way younger than me, Johnny. So I'll tell you what, I'll be old man Ric Flair, and you can hit me with the super kick and say, "I'm sorry, I love you." By the way, that's one of the greatest professional wrestling matches of all time. Discuss in the comments if you would like. In fact, I'll throw it out there. What's your favourite ever professional wrestling match? Mine is, funnily enough, one of Johnny's favourites. My best ever professional wrestling match that I've ever seen is The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. Not the second one that they did at 26, the first one at 25. If you've not seen it, and I know a boatload of you will, you can even put it on now while you're watching me, possibly, or do it after I finish speaking or whatever. Do yourself a favour if you've never seen it, watch it. It's not just wrestling, it's one of the best things I've ever seen in my life on a live broadcast of basically anything. I watched Taker versus Shawn Michaels, funnily enough, at a house party. This is one of my really good memories, actually. So there was a house party. Those of you in Leeds might know where I'm on about if you live in Leeds, but where the library pub is, just as you're heading into sort of Headingley Way. If you go on your right hand side as you hit the Boozer, there used to be like a block of flats. And I went into this block of flats. A load of people I didn't know, but via friends of mine, kind of thing. And a couple of lads there that I didn't know were into wrestling. And funnily enough, I don't know why I didn't know this, but like WrestleMania was on, and I was like, why is WrestleMania on? Because it was the time where I was kind of in and out, and it's like, yeah, it's on tonight, dude. And I was like, you're joking. And I was like, could I watch it, please? And they were like, yeah. And so we sat there and we're doing bloody Jaeger shots and carrying on and like bloody talking to people who are the opposite gender of myself. And yes. Anyway, look, you don't need to know the details of that. But look, the point is, whilst I was trying to do that sort of conversation, shall we say, we were watching WrestleMania and Taker versus Shawn Michaels came along, and I was just literally like, oh wow, this will be cool, I'm going to watch this. And literally, why is my schedule being changed for? Go away. From the moment they first touched, honestly, I was dialed in, enthralled, whatever word you want to use. It was magic. It was pure and utter magic. It was one of the best professional wrestling matches I've ever seen. It wasn't a scientific mat classic. If you want that, my other recommendation is Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels, which was, oh God, WrestleMania 19? 20? I forget. It was in around that time when Kurt and Shawn Michaels were having it was when Michaels was he had the match with Jericho at Mania. Kurt had the match with He Who Shall Not Be Mentioned, which sadly was very, very good because, of course, He Who Will Not Be Mentioned was a very good technical wrestler, but I will never mention that man's name because he's a scumbag. You probably know what I'm talking about. And yeah, it was around that sort of time. But yeah, Taker versus Shawn Michaels is my best ever match too. Not that anyone actually wanted to know that, to be honest, but JBL was the best commentator alive. I was all right with JBL, Johnny. Like I said, I agree with you. As a heel commentator, he was really good. I think at the time, JBL himself was was fine. He was a very good, very, very good heel ring announcer. There was no problem with his work. I thought he was excellent, mate. Absolutely fantastic. I think because Cole was, I'm not sure if he got to heel yet, but he was getting more and more obnoxious. And it was getting to the point where, like, obviously everyone that knew Vince McMahon was in the headsets, was in the headsets for Michael Cole, and you could just tell it was Vince, that he was parroting Michael Cole for it. It was just getting to the point where you just like, right, I don't need to know this. I just want to watch the wrestling. And like there was I remember in that point there was a match on that I wanted to watch. I want to say it was something random like I don't know, Jericho versus William Regal or something on them lines. So I settled down to watch it, and literally Cole, they're having a back and forth about whatever that thing was back in the day. Was it towels or something? It was when Twitter first started blowing up, and then a couple of years later they had it, and it was something called Tout or Tub or something like that, and they were arguing about who had the best picture, and I'm like, I had to mute it at one point. I'm like, guys, I don't need to listen to this. I just want to watch like pro wrestling, and it got to the point where it was just so annoying, and that's when I nearly fell out of it. But obviously, thankfully now, said gentleman is not in WWE anymore. Although, depending on who you listen to, maybe he still has his tentacles in there. Who knows? But yeah, yeah. No, JBL was really, really good. But I tell you how I used to like Johnny actually, who used to be on comms. It was only for a very brief period, but William Regal was really good on comms. I love Paul Heyman. Obviously, he's just good at everything. I think being old school, though, Jerry Lawler in the Attitude Era, just 'cause some of the things he used to come out with. I mean, some of the one-liners that... Obviously, again, I apologise to the younger people, especially the younger ladies that might be listening, but, like, how do I put this? The 90s was a very, very different time, shall we say, and a lot of me and the guys were repeating some of these words and catchphrases and not particularly, we weren't particularly bothered as to who was hearing us. In fact, that never even came up as a conversation. We would just go out at the top of our voices, say, suck it, and this, that, and the other. And I used to have a very bad habit of repeating one or two of Jerry Lawler's uh, catchphrases in the comments from Monday Night Raw, shall we say. But yes, and then I came to Leeds, and obviously the time was changing, and I was still kind of that 90s boy, and I still kept repeating this in the group of lads and lasses that we had, and there was a time when sometimes it didn't always go down very well, because Leeds is a very different place to mid-90s Derby, and it was just like, oh, so this is offensive then? It's like, yeah, it's extremely offensive. Oh, right, crap. Anyway, long story short, Jerry Lawler, mate, for me, I thought Lawler was absolutely superb. And going back even further, Bobby Heenan, um, incredible, absolutely incredible. But that's more sort of like 80s going into early 90s cartoon sort of WWE sort of commentator era. I know it's not commentator's world, but again, because I was on about promos earlier, shout out to Jake the Snake Roberts. He was bloody brilliant at promos. Absolutely fantastic. In fact, I might have to say he might be up there, Roddy Piper. Piper for me is the best person on the mic ever, in my opinion. But Jake the Snake Roberts, wow, what a talker he was, and what a wrestler as well. Shout out to Jake. Peroni, if you're wondering, by the way, so I'm sure someone's going to ask me at some point. Listen to me, God damn it, what? I do speak in Spanish. Yeah. Yeah. Bubba Ray and Devon, tag team goes. Yeah, oh, absolutely, mate, absolutely. Yeah, it ended up being 24, didn't Johnny in the end? Because I think did they win their last title in... I think they won their last ever title either in New Japan or TNA, because I'm sure when Devon split with Bubba and he became Bully Ray, which is what everyone knows him as now, because I mean, at the time, I can remember when he did that heel turn on Devon, and they did that whole Aces and Eights angle, and he was involved with Hogan and stuff like that. It was in and around that time, and they brought Bully Ray out in like a biker gang uniform, and then they were trying to pretend that him and Taz were like these hardened southern bike riders, and it's just like Taz is from Red Hook in New York City. Taz literally has the most New York accent I have ever heard in my entire life. I'm sorry, I'm not buying this bloody motorcycle um, Angels of Death or whatever they're called, like thing. But do you know what? To be fair to Bubba, who became Bully Ray, he was excellent. He's another one that I've got a lot of time for. Bully Ray. I'm gutted I can't. I know his politics are slightly different from mine, I think, but as a man and a performer, I really do respect Bully Ray's opinion. I think he's a fabulous worker. He's had some great moments in the business. I think he's technically sound. I enjoy watching his wrestling. I think his opinions on things are absolutely fantastic. Just the way he can break, when the wrestlers break matches down and stuff like that. I think Bully Ray's awesome. I know he's on Busted Open. Unfortunately, I can't listen to Busted Open anymore. And I'll be quite blunt, the reason that I can't listen to Busted Open is because they are basically owned by Sirius FM, who also platform a douchebag called Megan Kelly, who one or two of you may have heard me complain about in the past. And obviously, again, people are entitled to their political opinions, that's fine, but Mrs. Megan Kelly, and again, this has nothing to do with wrestling, but well, it kind of does, but the reason I would not listen to Busted Open is because Megan Kelly is part of the Sirius FM roster, and the reason I have such a problem with her is, look, I'm a father. I don't like nonsense. Simple as that. Now, that's not aimed at Megan Kelly, obviously I'm aware that she's not. But when you do some sort of interview where you are justifying male predators leering and trying to kidnap 14-year-old girls and then coming out with a line, something on the lines of basically saying, well, at least they're not 5, they're 14, sometimes you don't know. Yeah, I'm not listening to anything from that network because love, and this is from a guy with severe mental health problems over the last year. Love, to put my Yorkshire voice on, you need to go and see a doctor and you need to do it now because that is not how normal people see things. There we go. Anyway, enough of Megan Kelly. 24 World Title, Seth. Old intro was. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you. Hi, Logan, by the way. I'll get to your points as well. Hello, JR, as well. Just give me 1 second, I'll get to yours. Thank you, Johnny. It's about time. Do you know, I thought I was the only person that was ever going to bring that up. Am I the only one that thinks Seth Rollins... I know it's you can chant it. So, am I the only one that thinks his music sucks compared to his old music? Um, I used to love the whole burn it down thing with the whole dun, 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 dun. I thought it was really, really cool, really suited him. I loved the way it came on when he did the belt thing where he was swinging it over his head. Yeah, I used to love Rollins' fit, and I don't. I just think I like the whoa thing. If you could incorporate the whoa into it about halfway through, that would be great. But the rest of the song is just like it's a song that's just not been finished. Do you know what I mean? It's just like it's not for me. But yes, thank you, Johnny. You are literally the first person, my friend, who's ever brought it up. I thought it was just me. By the way, while we were talking about songs, has anyone heard Maxine Dupree's new music? I mean, Jesus Christ! Literally, I would rather hear the sounds of 5,000 Man United fans celebrating a fourth goal at Anfield than hear that song ever again. It was like, when people scrape on a chalkboard. I was just like, oh. Like, what? And literally, when she came out and lost the match to, I think it was Natty, I literally just sat there going, what the bloody hell was that? It was awful. Yeah, no, please get rid of that song. It's dreadful. Please, that's it. Anyway. Let's have a look. Yo, did you see what Swerve Strickland did to Brody King? I did, Logan, yeah, and I'm here for it, mate. I'm here for it. I am super invested in Brody King versus Swerve Strickland, my friend. I love both of them. Swerve Strickland, is he my favourite wrestler? He's definitely in the conversation for top five. My favourite wrestler in the world at the moment is Tekla. Shout out to Tekla, the Toxic Spider. You heard it here first. The world's best wrestler in any company, in my opinion, at the current time. I think she's fabulous, like brilliant professional wrestler. But I really like Brody King as well. I also quite like a certain chant that accompanies Brody King to the ring that one or two of you might be familiar with, which rhymes with Ruck Dice. I'll leave you to work that one out. But yeah, no, I'm super invested in that one, Logan. I'm really looking forward to Revolution. Unfortunately, I'm gutted. In fact, I'll share this for you guys now. I can't watch AEW Revolution on the night, unfortunately. I'm still going to buy it on Amazon Prime. But I can't do live streaming and stuff that night because I've got to go to work the next day. And I'm sure a lot of you are in the same boat. You know, when you get to this time of year and you realise you've got like half a day's worth of annual leave, and those of you who are also parents will know, well, sod's law, my kid's going to get ill, or my missus is going to get ill, and I'm going to have to look after my lad, or something daft like that. I can guarantee if I took half a day off, like the day after my son would be ill, and then I'll get charged a load of money and stuff like that. Anyway, point is, I don't think I'm going to be able to watch AEW Revolution until the next day. So what I will do is probably I will see if I can get back home from work because I love AEW pay-per-views, but the only trouble with them is they go on for about 4.5 bloody 5 hours after them. So what I'll do is I'll come home, start watching it about 4, hopefully get it finished by 10 at the latest, and then I'll do live reaction to AEW Revolution like the day afterwards. But sadly, like I said, I won't be able to do it on the. I mean, I could, but you are talking literally that's going to be finished at 4:30 in the morning, and then I have to get up to go to work. Which I know all this sounds very boring, but this is like normal people world. This is not like Unspeakable and Moralia and bloody Logan Paul YouTube streamer King People. This is like a working class lad who's got to get himself out. So yeah, I mean, I could watch it and I really do want to see it, but I think it's going to have to be that the next day. But yes, to answer your question, Logan, yeah, I thought it was really well done. Again, the way that Brody sold that was brilliant. I think it's going to be an absolutely brilliant match. I would imagine Swerve's going to go over. I could be wrong about that, but Brody's probably one of them wrestlers who you don't need to have them win all the time just because he's so big and imposing. And I'm guessing they'll build back up to Swerve versus Kenny Omega or something. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. JR Gaza, yeet, yeet. What do you think about Smackdown last night? Well, I was going to say, thank you for joining, JR. Yes, I will get back to Smackdown. In general, dude, I thought it was fine. I enjoyed several bits about it. There were other bits that I was less keen on. Like I said, I don't want to keep picking on the MFTs, but oh my goodness! I mean that tag team turmoil thing did lose me a little bit. In fact, to tell you what, let me just jump back on quickly to answer your question, JR. So, yeah, so after Dragunov, basically, we had Danhausen. By the way, I'm just going to say, I think Danhausen's brilliant. I know there's a lot of controversy around him. I just think the bloke's hilarious. And I do quite like the idea of Miz having to mentor Danhausen. That does seem rather amusing. Like, because the Miz is a very good comedic guy as well. Obviously, he's a fantastic pro wrestler as well. But yeah, that does seem like it could be quite amusing. The Irresistible Force, is that what they're called now these days? Nia and Lash. They came out and celebrated with what looked like a bucket of Lambrini in 2 glasses that weren't wine glasses for some daft reason. Lash Legend looks as if she was off out to a nightclub, and Nia Jax looks as if she was off to go and service a car at bloody Quick Fit, which was a bit weird. But and then I can't remember the order, but Charlotte and Alexa Bliss came out and challenged them. Then Kiana James and Julia came out to challenge them. And I thought to myself, here comes Nick Aldis. He will announce there's going to be a three-way match at WrestleMania. Hooray! No. Instead, we had a match between Kiana James. By the way, shout out to Kiana. I think she's been excellent recently. We had a match between them two in Charlotte, who seemed to be dressed like Russell Crowe in Gladiator. I'm not totally sure what that was all about. It was really, really weird. Go back and watch it and you'll see what I mean. But I was just like, what is that? But yeah, Charlotte and Alexa went over. It was a fine match. There's nothing particularly exciting about it. Nothing horrible about it. Yeah, no, it was fine. But I don't know if Charlotte and Alexa are now facing Nia and Lash at WrestleMania. I mean, it would the way they described it, it kind of seemed more like this was going to be next week. In which case, well, I mean, what are we doing with Charlotte Flair? I mean, what are we doing with it? I mean, this is a lot of the thing now. So I know a lot of these matches get confirmed at the last minute, but I mean, what day are we on now? What is it? The 7th of March. I mean, WrestleMania's on the 17th. I mean, and like, guys, this is in like 5 or 6 weeks, and you've confirmed what is it, 3 matches, possibly 4. It's like you better start figuring this out pretty quickly because you've only got a few more. I was going to say PLEs, but they're not anymore. Right? You've only got a few more like Raws and Smackdowns and all that business. So there was the weird Johnny Gargano depression thing where all of a sudden he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to get up," and him and Candice LeRae go to the ring. I want to challenge someone, and then I mean, as soon as Gargano got up, I was just like, it's going to be Oberfemi. I hope I get the thing with Oberfemi. Yeah, I get it. We get it. He's a big bad MF, and he destroys people. Okay, he's fine. Can I see Oberfemi now working with? I'm not saying Gargano's not a fantastic wrestler. Obviously, he is, but I would like to see him have that fight against Rusev. I think that'll do both of those lads the world of good. I'm actually quite looking forward to it now. I think it's going to be very, very good. I know they've got to build him up, but it's just like, do they though? Can't we just throw him in with like, I don't know, Drew? I tell you what, who I would like to see. I would love to see Jacob Fatu versus Oberfemi. Like that would be awesome. In fact, there's quite a few, not dream matches, but like when Bron Breakker gets back, they've got to do Jacob Fatu versus Bron Breakker. And I am very, very interested in Bron Breakker versus Oberfemi. That would be absolutely amazing. Swig a beer again. Yeah, and then there was that tag team turmoil thing. Damien Priest and R-Truth one. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what? Like I said, I've written in my notes. You had the Wyatts being screwed out of things. You had the Motor City Machine Guns appear to be breaking up, but then they're not breaking up. They are so disappointing. Not the Motor City Machine Guns, because obviously Shelley and Saban are two of the best wrestlers in the world. It's not them having to go. The way that they've been booked is absolutely appalling. I mean, they won the tag team titles on the second go out, and basically they've been used as jobbers pretty much ever since then, and it's just like, yeah, look, it's a job for the Guns at the end of the day, but I don't see them staying in WWE for too long because they're just not being used. I mean, the men's tag team division. I mean, I don't want to be critical of any of the lads. I know they're all trying to work hard for the two, but I mean, with the greatest respect, Los Garza, not for me. The Fraxian thing could have worked. Look, they're a fine opening match. You always need people who are like lower mid card to upper mid card. And they're two very fine wrestlers, and that's fine. But I mean, the way the men's tag team division has been developed, I mean, it's nothing short of appalling. And the fact that the MFTs are the champion, I mean, I blame the writers with that stable for a lot of the problems that SmackDown has, because they are just focusing way too much on the MFTs. Like I said, my thing with the MFTs is, look, if it was Solo Sikoa and Tama and Tama Tonga and someone helps out in the comments at some point, Tongaloa, is it Tongaloa? Well, the original two that he brought in, that I was quite interested in at the time, and I think if they'd had Solo Sikoa become the tribal chief on that match that he had with Roman Reigns, and I get why they had to have Roman go over, and that's fine. But I think if you stripped Roman of the tribal chief and give it to Solo, he'd be in so much better place than as it was. He loses it, and then, I mean, from there, obviously they brought Solo back, didn't they? And I think he was wearing that white shirt at the time, and there was the whole like, what's he gonna do? This, that, and the other. And then he started doing this MFT stuff, and then, I mean, long story short, it's awful. It's absolutely bloody dreadful. We had Rhea versus Jade, by the way. Loved that. I thought it was an excellent. I thought it was just the route of. Rhea Ripley's obviously a fantastic promo. Jade, not so much. But the good thing that Jade does is, I like it when it's short and sweet with her, because she can talk, by the way. I've heard she's a highly intelligent woman, by the way. Super clever young lady, and she's very engaging. She can hold a conversation. She's got the aggressiveness, and I don't know why that side of her's not coming out that much. But she was brilliant last night. Absolute super. Shout out to Jade for hanging with Rhea, and I loved the two mic drops and the handshakes. I thought it was absolutely where it needed to be. So I am actually looking forward to Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley. Think it's going to be really good. Still don't know what's going to happen with VO Sky, but we'll have to wait and see. And then, yes, well, I'll go back to the comments, because I'm going to talk about at the end Cody Rhodes and whether that match was the passing of the torch, because, as I say, I don't know if it was just me, there were a lot of people who seemed to be very pissed off with that. I think Drew McIntyre is now a babyface, but I'll wait and see what you guys think. I love waffles. Absolutely not. It's coming across poorly. Absolutely not coming across poorly. Hello, Christian. Sorry, because I've been waffling 10 minutes. I'm not sure what that's in reference to, but thank you very much. Let's have a look. Logan, have you seen what happened to Brody King on AEW? Yeah, like I said, Logan, I think I've just answered that, haven't I? Yeah, no, I thought it was a great angle. I think Brody will get his hands on Swerve next week, and I think he will give him an absolute butt kicking, to say the least. No, I'm really looking forward to the match. It should be really good. Like I said, at Revolution, I think at the moment we've got Takeshita versus John Moxley, Hangman versus MJF. Has anything else been announced? Brody King versus Swerve Strickland. I think they've announced Tekla for something or other. I'm not totally sure. Yeah, no, it should be good, actually. Like I said, shout out to Tekla. She is just absolutely bloody brilliant. But there we go. Let's have a look. Oh, I can't even see this. Hugh. Hello, Hugh. Nice hoodie. Oh, thank you very much, Hugh. This was because it had some sort of random mark on it or something. There's like a mark that's here or something. And I think it was originally £10 in Primark. Because it had this random mark, apparently, which I can't even see, I actually managed to get it for £7 because it was like, it came across as faulty goods, and I was just like, yeah, I'll have that for £7. Boom, there we go. So yeah, but yeah, thank you. I do like my hoodies. I've got like a Liverpool one upstairs. I've got a so I really want that CM Punk hoodie and the Cody Rhodes one as well. Yeah, I do like my hoodies, so thank you for that. Yeah, very quickly then, folks, because I'm conscious of the fact it is Saturday night and people do not want to be listening to me waffle on, I'm sure, and I want to have a few more beers. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. Match was fine. not the best those two have had, but it was an enjoyable match. Really liked it. Was it the best match Cody and Drew will ever have? No, no, not at all. But it was what it needed to be for what it became, I suppose. And I really liked how they had the old school doom 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 doom. Doom. I don't know how to describe it. Like it was like old school sort of music where they build up to the thing that used to go doom 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 doom. Doom. I don't know how to describe it. That was really cool. I liked the entrances. I liked the way it had a big fight feel. Because it came across like a PLE and that was quite cool actually. Um, I do have questions. Like I said, I won't repeat old ground, but I feel very sorry for Drew McIntyre. As I say, I think he's worked his backside off. So I'm just going to get myself another beer because I have a cooler next to me. That is awesome. I feel really sorry for Drew because of the amount of work that the lads put in to get to where he is now. And I think a lot of people were very, very pissed off that Cody won that match. I think a lot of people wanted Drew to get to WrestleMania. I mean, I'm assuming now it'll be some sort of thing with him and Jacob Fatu, which is fine. It'll be a good match, but I mean, that's just going to get swallowed up, isn't it? I mean, yeah, you'll be pleased to see Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre, but it's going to be nowhere near a main event. It will be middle of the card, probably halfway through, maybe on night one, possibly. I don't know, unless they're going to get involved in the main event match with Randy Orton and Cody. I don't know, but it does seem incredibly unfair on Drew McIntyre, to be completely honest. Very, very unfair. And what I was saying before was, I think that they may have just turned Drew McIntyre into a babyface inadvertently because I don't know if it was just my TV because my son was very confused because he's a Cody fan. Obviously, he's jumping around the living room. Yay, Daddy, Cody's the champion again, blah, blah, blah. But you could hear the booing. You could hear the booing. Like, and it wasn't just a smattering of booing, that was a lot of booing. Um, I mean, unless they're going to repeat the whole John Cena thing with Cody Rhodes, in that they keep him as the glorious babyface who is nice to the kids and the rest of us all hate, who wants him to turn heel. Excuse me, sorry. But yeah, that's the only way around it. But I just think that all signs point to Cody Rhodes turning into a heel, and maybe. I mean, the other thing is him and Nick Aldis have a history before this because obviously they had the one of the opening matches in AEW before it was actually AEW. I think they had a feud going in NWA as well. Cody beat Nick Aldis, I think, in AEW for I think it was the NWA Championship. I can't remember that. But yeah, they've got a whole history as well. Basically, what I'm getting at is I do wonder whether Nick Aldis is going to be revealed as some sort of cipher for heel Cody Rhodes, basically, and whether they'll just flip the switch and basically Drew McIntyre will be revealed to have been right all this time about so many of the wrestlers, and that's the way that they get Drew over as a babyface. What this means for Randy Orton, I don't know. I cannot see Randy Orton. Like I said to him, I was saying to Johnny earlier, I just don't see Randy Orton winning that title, quite honestly, at all. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Um, yeah, that was basically it, folks, to be honest. Like I said, I usually like to give a grade at the end. Smackdown, it was alright, it wasn't too bad. I'd say a B. It was fine. There was just nothing really that stood out for me too much. If I was going to give a match of the night, see, I'd probably it's going to have to be Cody versus Drew, isn't it? It was a really good match, but I'm sure they could have done better. Moment of the night was obviously, other than Cody winning, I really enjoyed Rhea versus Jade. I thought that was fine. Sorry, not fine. I thought the promo was really good. So in fact, I won't say match of the night. I will say moment of the night. Shout out to Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley. and Smackdown gets a, let's say, a B minus. I thought it was fine. I just didn't think it was the best wrestling show I've ever seen, to be completely honest. Yeah, and that's about it from me, folks, because it is Saturday night, and I'm going to have quite a few more beers than this, to be fair now. I'm going to chill out, watch a couple of podcasts, and then I'm going to go to bed probably about 3 o'clock in the morning, which is really bad because I have to be up at 7 o'clock with my lad. So, yes, that'll be fun for me. Just very quickly, in terms of stuff that's coming up before I head off, what is coming up? Right, I might be on tomorrow. I'm not sure, depending on family commitments, but I might be on very briefly, possibly to talk about Liverpool before the Galatasaray match. Speaking of, I'll be back on Tuesday because the Reds are playing Galatasaray. I could potentially be going to the pub again to watch it because at the moment I'm ending up going to the gym on Tuesdays and then ruining it all by going through town. And like Liverpool have been on for the last couple of Tuesday nights, and I've ended up going into the pub basically. So I will be doing a live reaction to that, probably in Leeds again. So you can laugh at me like going mental in my home city. So that'll be on Tuesday 10:30. Wednesday I'll have to do the Monday Night Raw reaction again because of the Liverpool match, so I need to get that changed, but I'll put all this up on my schedule. After that it'll be AEW Dynamite live reaction, then it'll be Toy Shorts Friday, which, speaking of, I need to find some more toy shorts for you guys because I am running very low. I've usually got about 3 or 4 months worth of toys, and I've managed to get myself to a point where I've got 2 weeks left, so I'm going to have to go basically and investigate. So put it this way, I might see you in Meadow Hall very, very soon. Yes, that'll be next Friday, and then this time next week I'll be doing the late Smackdown reaction show, or will I? Because I think we're playing Brighton next Saturday. I want to say it's Brighton next Saturday. So if that's 3:30, then 3:30. If it's 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday, I'll be able to come on about sort of 6 o'clock, something along them lines. So I might be on twice basically next Saturday. And then, like I said, Revolution. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to cover it live realistically. So what I will do is I will buy the pay-per-view the next night. Avoid. My post just reached 184 views on my Reddit channel. Oh, cool, nice one. Yeah, so I won't be able to see Revolution live, but I will be able to basically review it the next night. So I'll buy it on Amazon the next night, and then we can have a little chat about it a week on Monday, basically. So that'll be March the when's that? March the 16th or 17th, something along them lines. After that, in terms of unusual / cool things, 3 weeks time I'll be at Anfield for Liverpool versus Borussia Dortmund, which will be really cool. That's the Legends games. You can join me for that. That'll be in 3 weeks. Then I've got the Leeds Horror Fest, which will be the next sort of Comic Con thing I do, which is when's that, in about a month's time or something like that. And literally in 4 or 5 weeks' time, it will be WrestleMania. And yeah, one of my plans is to go and watch it in a pub and maybe live stream for a little while. So yeah, we will see how we get on with that. But yes. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. It's been very, very cool as usual. And like I said, to those of you who haven't watched this in, subscribers, because I didn't plan it out beforehand, I don't think. If you've missed it tonight, it'll be on audio podcast tomorrow and YouTube video tomorrow, basically. So yes, hopefully you can join me then. Anyway, right, guys, I'm going to go off, grab some food, have a couple of beers, chill out, and then I'm going to sleep. So have a fantastic Saturday night, guys. Enjoy whatever you're doing on Sunday. And I may see you for a little bit tomorrow, potentially, I'm not too sure. But if not, I will definitely see you on Tuesday for Liverpool versus Gala reaction. So yes, if I don't see you before then, have a fantastic start to your week, enjoy the weekend, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care.